Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Okay. So, good evening and welcome to the session. So, last day we have discussed about a strategy, and today we are going to talk about the topics. So, the topics which we are going to discuss, the first thing which we are going to discuss in today's session, it is with respect to India-UK relations. It is going to be about India-UK relations. Like, we will try to again revise this one part, that what is the understanding under India-UK deal. What is the part of India-UK deal? We will try to understand this part. Second thing which we are going to discuss is about Nobel Prize in Chemistry. Like, for what purpose the Nobel Prize in Chemistry has been provided. The third thing which we are going to talk about is with respect to invasive species. It is going to be some of the invasive species in case of India. Then the fourth topic which we are going to talk about is stable coins. We could not discuss it last day, so we are going to discuss this today, that what are stable coins, what are the global regulations for this, and what is the regulation or what is the condition with respect to India. Okay. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. So let us start first with some of the questions. Okay. So here we are having a revision of some of the questions with respect to production linked incentive scheme. It has been extended to more than 10 sectors as of now. It focuses only on those industries which are service oriented. It has been launched for the first time in budget 25-26. So which of them are correct? How many of them are correct? That is the question. A option? Yes. So A option will be correct here. It is not service oriented. It is related to manufacturing sector, and it has been launched during this time of COVID. So in 2020 itself. So here the both of these statements are incorrect. The only first one is correct. So answer will be A option. With reference to ethanol, consider the following statement. There is no emission of greenhouse gas on burning of ethanol. It is largely produced in India from non-edible plants. It has been launched for the first time in budget 25-26. Sorry, not this statement. Just on the basis of first two. Just on the basis of first two, I'm changing the options a little bit. A option is 1 only. B option is 2 only. C option is both 1 and 2. And D option is neither 1 nor 2. So what will be the answer? Changing options a little bit. D option. Okay. So D option will be correct here also, because both of these statements are correct. There is emission of greenhouse gas, but it is like no new addition. And plus at the same time it is not produced from non-edible plants. So both of these are incorrect. Answer is D option. Third question. Consider the following: 50% energy from solar energy, reduction of carbon emission by 1 billion ton by 2030, and 45% reduction in absolute emission by 2030. So how many of them are part of the nationally determined contribution to Paris Treaty? B option. Okay. I think most of the people are going for option number B. See, if you look at this, 45% reduction in absolute emission, that is incorrect. Okay. It is about 45% reduction, 45% reduction in emission intensity. In emission intensity. So here this third option is incorrect. Reduction of carbon emission by 1 billion ton by 2030, that one is correct. And 50% energy is not from solar energy, it is going to be from renewable energy. So 50% energy emission is not only from solar energy, it is going to be from the renewable energy. So that's why the first option here is incorrect. Answer will be A option, that is only one. Okay. So here the answer will be option number A, that is only one. It will not be B, it will be A option. So here everyone is incorrect. But it is not from solar energy only. It is from renewables. And here it is saying 50% from solar energy. So it means like first we will have 50% from solar energy, then others from also other sectors. It's not like that. Means 50% from total non-fossil fuels, from all the non-fossil fuels. Solar is one of the renewable, but not all the renewable. So that's why answer will be option number A. Now, coming to this one portion, the trade pact between India and Britain. So can you tell me, what do you know about this trade pact? Like India and Britain has got this trade pact. So what are the provisions of it? Do you have any such idea about this? What India aims to achieve? What India aims to achieve through this trade pact? And what UK is getting from this trade pact? And today we are having lesser number of questions because we have to discuss 3-4 bigger topics. So there are 3-4 bigger topics, that's why. So now we see that like we have got a free trade agreement with India and United Kingdom. With India and United Kingdom. So what they are getting from this free trade agreement? What India is getting from free trade agreement and what UK is getting on free trade agreement? So see, if Britain is exporting the goods to India, India has decided to reduce tariff on 90% of UK goods in India. So India has decided to reduce tariff. India reduced tariff on 90% of goods from UK. India has agreed to reduce tariff on 90% of UK goods. And it's not that there is a simple reduction. Like there is reduction of tariff from like 150% to 75% and then 40%. In the next 10 years, it is going to be reduced from, like for example, when we are talking about like, there are certain things like whiskey. Okay. For example, whiskey. So here the tariff is 150%. It is going to be reduced to 75% and then again 40%. So in the upcoming 10 years, the tariff on the whiskey coming from UK is going to be reduced up to like from 150% to 40%. So that is one part which we see. Okay. Then we have seen the tariff on UK vehicles. Tariff on vehicles from UK. Tariff on UK based vehicles. So that is also going to come from 100% to 10%. but there is subject to quota, subject to quota limit. Like, it's not that indefinite number of vehicles will be imported at 10%. Right? Like, suppose that there will be a quota which will be decided. For example, 10,000 vehicles coming from UK to India will get just a 10% tariff instead of 100% tariff. You can understand that how cheaper the goods can become. If the tariff is 100% and it is going to become like 10%, you can imagine how much cheaper the vehicles can become. Let's say its original price is 20 lakh rupees. It is being sold in India at 40 lakh rupees. Immediately, the price will come down to 22 lakh rupees only. Immediately, the price will come down to 22 lakh rupees. So there will be a huge reduction on the tariff on these vehicles. Okay. So cosmetics, medical devices, soft drinks, chocolates, etc., they are also going to get cheaper. The goods which are coming from UK, they are going to become cheaper. So what India is getting, like this is one part, this is one part like where we see that UK is getting the benefit. What about India? Okay. India is going to get like 99% of the export, 99% of Indian export will have zero tariff. This is one of the biggest thing, that 99% of Indian exports to UK will have zero tariff. Okay. And it is particularly important for like textile, leather, footwear, gems and jewelries. Okay. So many such thing, labor intensive sectors, like we are having some labor intensive sectors. Labor intensive sectors, for example, leather, textile, gems and jewelries. So these are things which are going to get zero duty in case of export to UK. So that is one of the very benefit for India. That is one of the benefit which we are going to see in case of India. So this is one part, like we are getting huge amount of benefit in that sense, that 99% of 99% of this trade is going to be duty free. Then at the same time, like this is something, there is also provisions for investment from UK to India. There is also provision for movement of Indian professionals to UK. So there are many such things which are there. Like even professionals can easily move to UK. Even UK, they will have access to Indian markets, like lawyers and others. They can also come to India. So service sector is also being opened up substantially for both the countries. So this is one thing, like it is believed that India and UK trade is going to become one of the very significant trade in the next 10 years. And you can see like how much excitement is there in United Kingdom also about this move, that they have come with a team of 100 people to India. They want the implementation of this trade deal as soon as possible. They want to have implementation of this trade deal as soon as possible. So from this you can imagine that how much serious United Kingdom is with respect to trade to India. Although they have made some controversial remarks also. Okay. If you have seen this, they have made this controversial remarks also. Like one of the person have said that the areas in which Indians are living are like slum areas. Okay. So there have been some of the statements which they need to avoid. So they have said certain things which might have repercussions in the future. Any example of vehicles? कल यूके पीएम का स्पीच सुन रहा था. It is the biggest deal with India ever in past. The East India Company was not a deal. Deal requires signing from both sides. East India Company was not a deal in that sense. There was no signing of agreement between India and Britain. It was one-sided deal. It was one-sided deal. This is perhaps the two-sided deal. Colonialism 2.0 is not there. See, there is one thing. It's fine that there are some countries which are quite tough to negotiate. One of them is US right now, one of them is China right now, and to some extent European Union also. But United Kingdom as a country is not that much challenging for India. United Kingdom as a country is not that much challenging for India. So this is one trade in which both countries are getting somewhat benefit. If there is any trade, if there is any trade deal, there is something which you have to sacrifice and something which you gain. It's not that we are not gaining from here. Again, see, most of our labor intensive industries, 99% of exports are getting zero tariff. 99% of export to United Kingdom are getting zero tariff. So it's not that we are not getting benefit, we are also getting some benefit. The UK is not that much of a challenge for us right now. US is there as a challenge, but UK is not there. Where you will provide PPT of this class, you will get it in the Telegram channel of KGS IAS. So this is our first part, free trade agreement. Like they have been calling it as a launch pad for growth. Okay. So this is one thing, like today also there might be some discussion, and in tomorrow's paper also there might be more and more coverage about this article. So we would be seeing some more aspects of it in upcoming classes also. Now, coming to the second part, Charter Act of 1786. See, those were the things of past. Okay. Sometimes we need to forget about the past and we need to go in the future. So, like, take the example of Japan. Mains के लिए important होगा, but not right now, because mains exam is next year, August, September. So till then, let's see what other things become important. What are the things, 4 regions? No, we have discussed about this. We have discussed about China and India relations in past also. Okay. So we have discussed, like, I think 1 month back when SCO summit was going on, we have discussed about this one part, Arshad. So let's see the second thing, Nobel in chemistry. Okay. There is a very important and interesting part. One of the winner is Omar M. Yagi. So he is one of the winner of this Nobel Prize in chemistry. And you know, how did he got the interest in chemistry? So one day he decided to go to library. One day he get to library and he got a random book. He got this random book. That book was of chemistry. And he got interested. Okay. So Omar M. Yagi, so he was like this one person. Okay. He was this one person. He went to library. He chose a random book. The book supposedly was of chemistry. He started reading that book and he got so much interested in that book that he started thinking about so many things in chemistry, and now we can see that he has got the Nobel Prize in chemistry. Sometimes you should also try to go to library, or sometimes if you see any book, try to pick it up, try to study about it. Maybe you will get interest in something and maybe one day you will get the Nobel Prize and then you will take my name that in your Nobel Prize speech, you can mention me that sir has told me that you have to read one book. And then I started reading this book. I got interested and here I am. Okay. So in the same manner, you can do also this thing. Okay. So here what we see that Nobel Prize in Chemistry, it has been given to 3 people. Okay. It has been given to 3 people, Omar M. Yagi, Richard Robson and Tsusumu Kitagawa. So these 3 people have got the Nobel Prize. Generally, we'll find that Nobel Prize is provided in physics, chemistry, medicine. Then you have also Nobel Prize in peace and literature. There is also a Nobel Prize in economics, although that is not more of considered as a Nobel Prize. It was established later. But these are the 6 fields in which there is announcement of Nobel Prizes. Bihar Sharif mein library ne. You can have also digital library. So that library was in the time of 1970s, 80s. Now you can have digital libraries. So Omar M. Yagi, okay. Peace Nobel Prize, so many contenders are there for that. There are so many contenders for that, so there is a little chance in case of peace, Nobel Peace Prize. So here we see that Omar M. Yagi, Richard Robson and Tsusumu Kitagawa, these 3 people have got the Nobel Prize in chemistry. And for what purpose? Like why they have been given this? Why they have been given this Nobel Prize? If you look at this, there is one thing called as metal organic framework. Okay. There is one thing called as metal organic framework. Metal organic framework. So basically, they have been helpful in creating a new molecular architecture. Like this, suppose this is one such 3D structure. So they have created this molecular structure where you can see these portions, they are metals. They are metals. And they are bound to each other. They are bounded to each other by the organic linker. Organic linker means the bond of the carbon. The bond of the carbon. So they have created a structure called as metal organic framework. And this framework is having huge cavity. This metal organic framework can have cavity. And this cavity can absorb certain products selectively. So this cavity can store or absorb some of the gases or liquid selectively. So this metal organic framework can store or absorb certain liquids selectively. Means they can choose certain liquids and they can selectively absorb it. So for this metal organic framework, for designing this metal organic framework, these 3 scientists have got the Nobel Prize in chemistry. So what we will use it for? What is going to be the use of this metal organic framework? Okay. Take this one example, water harvesting. Okay. So metal organic framework, it can extract the water from dry air, offering a potential solution for water scarce region. Like suppose that in the water scarce region, if we have to absorb the water from the air, this is one of the option, metal organic frameworks. In the case of pollutant removal, they can filter out harmful substances like polyfluoroalkyl substances from water. So if there is perfluoro or polyfluoroalkyl substances, they are also called as like they are something which are permanent in nature. Okay. So they can also be removed from the water using this metal organic framework. It can also be used for carbon capture. They are effective in capturing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So you can understand in the present context, metal organic frameworks can be a very important tool in carbon capture. Do one thing. You all may have got your environment notes. You all may have made notes of global warming and you may have written solution for it. Wherever you are having your notes, just add one thing extra in there, that for carbon capture and storage, there can be use of, for carbon capture and storage, there can be use of metal organic framework. Okay. So in the case of pollution chapter also, you can mention the metal organic framework. In the case of global warming chapter also, you can mention the metal organic framework. So from here you can understand one thing, how you have to use the current affairs. There is like very negligible chance, let me tell you very much honestly, there is a negligible chance that UPSC is going to ask a question in prelims from this section. There is very negligible chance that they will ask who got the Nobel Prize or for what matter they have got Nobel Prize. There is a chance that they can ask you about metal organic framework, but that is also rare. But yes, what you can do, when you are writing the answer of the mains exam, there you can mention about the metal organic framework and in bracket you can write winner of Nobel Prize 2025. So that will give you at least half extra marks in the examination. If you add something like this, it is going to give you some extra marks in the examination. So this is that one part. You have always this topic of carbon capture. You always have this topic of pollution. And in both cases, you can add this one portion. Then hydrogen storage. It can give the safe storage of hydrogen, which is again crucial for clean energy. So you have green hydrogen. There is one challenge in green hydrogen, that is storage of green hydrogen. For the storage purpose also, we can have metal organic framework. So here it can be used from the green hydrogen perspective also. It can be used for pollution removal also. It can be used for addressing water stress in dry region and also carbon capture. Okay. So this is one part which you can mention. Name is not that much important, but the work and the discovery is quite prominent. So I hope these two things are clear. What are metal organic framework? What is their application? So let's then move to the next part. Okay. Okay. Now, so now here we have this one thing all about the invasive species. Invasive species. So can you tell me what are invasive species? Can anyone tell me this part, that what are the invasive species? Can you tell me what are invasive species? Anyone? What are invasive species? Different, yes, they have come from different ecosystem. That is point one. Okay, that they have come from different ecosystem. So invasive species, if we talk about them, first thing is they come from different ecosystem. First thing, they come from different ecosystem. Different ecosystem. That is part one. They come from different ecosystem. Second thing, we also see that they have the capacity. They have the capacity to outrun or overpower the existing native species. Okay. So, overpower the existing native species. Imbalance in food chain. They can also cause this imbalance in food chain. Imbalance in food chain. They can also lead to extinction of native species. They can lead to extinction of native species. So they can lead to the extinction of native species also. So they are coming from different ecosystem. Then they overpower. Why? Because they are having no predator. There is no one who is going to consume them. There is no one who is going to eat them. Let me give you one example. You may have noticed about one such a species called as lantana camera. Okay. This is one such part, lantana camera. It may look quite beautiful, but it is one of the most dreaded. It is one of the most harmful invasive species in the entire world. It is one of the most harmful invasive species in the entire world. Now, let me give you how it is harmful. First, it is replacing the native community. The native species are growing at a smaller rate. The native communities are growing at a smaller rate. Whereas this one has a faster rate of growth, part one. Second part, it causes harm to the deer population. It causes harm to the population of the deer. So deer will not be consuming it, otherwise it will get harmed. So it means it is having no such predator. Deer is one of the main herbivores found in all the forests of India. One type of deer or other type of deer, it is the most common herbivorous organism in most of the forests of India. And in those forests, lantana camera is growing, which is having no such predator. Means deer is not going to eat it, otherwise it will have the health issues. So this is one part. It is having no such predator also. It is growing at alarming rate and it is replacing the existing community. Okay. Let me show you another such plant. Like when we talk about this, there is another such plant, Senna spectabilis. Senna spectabilis. If you look at this area, it may seem to be very good. If you look at the flowers, it will seem to be quite good. But this flower is very harmful. It is very harmful. The pollen grains which are coming from this flower, when they enter the body, they cause allergy. They are causing allergy in the population which is living nearby. The foul smell, it is having very foul smell. The smell is quite harmful. It is quite foul. People cannot live nearby this region. So Senna spectabilis, another such prominent invasive species in southern forest of India. It is causing harm to the human population also, to the birds also, to other species in that area also. So that is Senna spectabilis. Then if you look at this, we have this one, Siam weed. Okay. So Siam weed is one such thing which is harming the Western Ghats region, Andaman and Nicobar and other areas. Okay. So Siam weed is also there which is causing harm to our population. Okay. Then you will find Parthenium grass. Parthenium grass. It is one of the most harmful weed in the agricultural fields of India. It is one of the most harmful weed in the agricultural fields of India. it is leading to higher cost of like higher costs of this herbicides. It is increasing the cost of agriculture. There is a requirement of herbicides and all, and it is harming the plants in our country. Okay. So this is like reducing the agricultural productivity, that is Congress grass or Parthenium. Okay. Parthenium. Then you will find this one, the water hyacinth. The water hyacinth, although it is useful to some extent because it is absorbing the toxic substances from water, but it has replaced the local ecosystem. It has replaced the local ecosystem. It has made our lakes non-navigable. The lakes are losing their identity. The navigation through the lakes is not possible. It is causing huge harm to the ecosystem over there. So this is also water hyacinth. Then look at this, Prospis juliflora. Prospis juliflora. It is also called as jungly babool. Many of you may have seen this plant near your areas. And this is one plant which has replaced many of the woody plant in case of India. It is growing at such an enormous rate. The problem is not that like you have to add this plant. It can randomly grow from the seeds of it, and it is so much like you can say that it is so much having regrowth potential that even if you cut it, it will again grow from there. Until unless you remove the roots of this, there is a chance that it will grow. Even if one part of the root of this plant is there in the ground, even if one part of the root of this plant is there in the ground, you will find that from there also it will grow up. So from any branch, any such seed, any such root, this plant can grow up. So due to this, its potential to grow and develop in a very short span of time, it has like reduced the native species. It has harmed the native species, and the problem is it is also a source of forest fire. It is also a source of forest fire. It catches fire quite easily. Even if it is green, and if you keep on burning it for some time, it will catch fire, and then it will give huge amount of flame. And then you will find that it can burn down the forest. So that is our Prospis juliflora or Vilaiti babool. Okay. So this is one part. Again, you will find, okay, so like these things have been there in India as invasive species, and they have impacted many parts of India. Okay. Jalkumbhi is there. Okay. I think it has come from South America, perhaps. Prospis juliflora, it has come from South America. Yes, so South America or either Africa. Eucalyptus is also there. But the thing with eucalyptus is it is not highly invasive. Eucalyptus is found only in certain parts of India. These plants are highly invasive. In case of Bihar, you will find Prospis juliflora, Vilaiti babool is quite prominent there. Water hyacinth is everywhere. Lantana camara is also everywhere. Okay. Then Parthenium grass or Congress grass, it is also common. Senna spectabilis is not there. Sham weed is also not there. The sham weed and Senna spectabilis, they are mostly there in Western Ghat region. But Parthenium grass or Congress grass, the Lantana camara, it is also there. Then you have Vilaiti babool, which is very famous in Bihar. Sadabahar means which one? Sadabahar is evergreen. फूल के जैसे नहीं, नहीं, जंगली बबूल इज नॉट हैविंग फ्लावर्स, जंगली बबूल इज नॉट हैविंग वेरी flowers. Normal bubble is there, which is native. Normal bubble is native, but it doesn't grow so much. The vilaiti bubble which is there, it is not having any such thorn or anything. It is also called a jungly plant or jungli bubble or vilaiti bubble, and it is quite common in India. Sadabahar, Sadabahar is name of plant. Sadabahar stands for evergreen. Acha, fuel. You are asking about fuel. Yes, they are being used for fuel. So you will get it in the PDF. You will get it in the PDF, Cipra. You will get it from the PDF. You can note it down from there. Okay. Sadabahar plant name. Okay, let me check about it. Like, I don't know about the name of that plant. Sadabahar plant. Nahin. Jungli bubble is not having any such thorn. Jungli bubble or vilaiti bubble is not having any such thorns. It is normal plant. सदाबहार में हमेशा फूल आते हैं. I will have to look into that. Which one is called Sadabahar plant? I will have to look at this. So now, coming to this part, stable coin. We could not discuss it last day, so we are going to discuss it today. सदाबहार फ्लावर से क्यूनिन मेडिसिन भी बनाया जाता है. So I will have to look into that. Okay. So now, if we look at this, let's see this one part, stable coin. If you look at this, it is a cryptocurrency. It is something which is cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency means it is blockchain based. But this is called as a stable coin. Okay. If you look at this, it is called stable. Stable. Why? Because this is something which is regulated. Here you will find that it is regulated. It is something which is regulated, and value is derived from some assets. Value is derived from some assets. So its value is getting derived from certain assets. It is something which is regulated, its value is derived from certain assets. So then it is something which is less volatile, It is something where there is lesser chances of scam, fraud or misuse. Okay. Here we see that there is lesser chances of fraud, scam or potential misuse. So when we are looking at the stable coin is basically a cryptocurrency, but it is not exactly like cryptocurrency. It is not like the private cryptocurrency. It is something which is regulated by the governments. Its value is often coming from some other assets. In case of cryptocurrency, there is no financial backing. For example, if you are having a 10 rupees coin, you know that the 10 rupees coin have a financial backing. It is based on certain assets with the RBI. It is based on assets with the RBI. But in the case of normal cryptocurrency or private cryptocurrency, many a times we have seen that there is no asset in the background. There is no asset in the background. It is there as a currency but without any backing. But in case of a stable coin, it is going to be based on an asset, based on some physical asset. A cryptocurrency is going to be generated. Okay. So the question is, why? Why we are having such a currency? Why we are having such a currency? Why we are having this currency? First thing is alternative, a better alternative. Here you can see that it is a better alternative to private cryptocurrencies. Second thing is the main part. Okay, one thing is, if it is a cryptocurrency, if it is blockchain based, it is secure, transparent. Okay, safe, secure and transparent. Safe, secure, transparent. The third main thing is cost of international transaction. Cost of international transaction. Cost of international transaction. So right now, average was given. If there is normal transaction, if there is a normal international transaction, if there is a normal international transaction, the cost is near about $44, approximately $44 per transaction. The cost of international transaction is near about $44 per transaction. It is about $44 per transaction. So that is one thing which we see in case of this conventional banking routes. In conventional banking routes, in traditional, it is 44 per transaction. And in case of this one, in case of this one part, in case of crypto, it is $0.01. Okay. So you can see the cost of international transaction using the normal banking route. The cost of international transaction using the normal banking route is something about $44. Something about $44. But in the case of crypto, the cost is only 0.01. Okay. Now, in case of time, conventional route, conventional banking route, if we talk about this, the conventional banking route, it can take like several days. Okay, it can take several days, like a few days. Now some of the transactions are being done even in 48 hours. Some of the transactions are completed even in 48 hours. But it can take a few days to several days. A few to several days. And this is something like if we talk about this, if we talk about this, it is seconds. It is seconds, or you can say simply it is instant. There is an instant transaction at a cost of $0.01, whereas in normal transaction, in normal international transaction, it starts from $44 per transaction. $44 per transaction, and it can take several days. So when we are talking about normal banking transactions in different part of the world, we see that it is taking more time, it is taking more cost also. But in case of stable coins or cryptocurrency, it can be instantaneous and the cost is also quite on the lower side. Okay. So that's why what we see that many of the countries are coming with this alternatives. Many of the countries are coming with this. US has come with it. China is coming with this option. Japan is coming with this option. European Union is looking for this option. So many countries have already got some form of stable coins. The stable coins are the regulated crypto coins. We have seen their features. We have seen why countries are going to adopt it. Now, when we talk about India's perspective, you can see this news article. Like recently, Finance Minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, she has stated that India needs to be ready. India needs to be ready to engage with this crypto assets. That now that time is over when you can think whether we need to go with cryptocurrencies or not. Now the time is here when India needs to be ready to deal with the cryptocurrencies such as stable coins. We need to deal with digital assets or the stable coins. We need to be ready for that. Okay. So right now we are not having any policy for it, but this is what we call as stable coin. We have seen why they are useful, why they are being considered by the different countries. Okay. What about accountability? Accountability of whom? Like this is something which is regulated. This is something which is regulated by the nations. This is something which is regulated by nation. So it is going to be like a fiat currency. A stable coin, if you look at this is going to be regulated. It is going to be launched by countries. It is not going to be launched by private players. See this part, stable coins, it is going to be a cryptocurrency. It is going to be blockchain, but it is having the value which is coming from some assets. Its value is coming from some assets and it is regulated. Sorry. It is something which has been regulated by the government. That's why it has been called as that stable coin. Instead of simple Bitcoin or other things, it has been called as a stable coin. So, a form of cryptocurrency which is not as volatile as Bitcoin or others. Okay. Regulated by nations means, like suppose you are having 100 rupees notes. So 100 rupees note is not given by anyone else. It is given by RBI. So it means currency is regulated in India by the government. Joho initiative. Okay. If there is something, we will talk about it, Bharat. So that will be all for today. Let's meet in tomorrow's session, and tomorrow then we will discuss the remaining things. Also, if any one of you is preparing for UPPCS exam, UPPCS prelims exam, then we are going to have a marathon session for its question in tomorrow's afternoon. In tomorrow afternoon, we are going to have this marathon session for UPPCS. Okay. Hey, confusion in transaction cost for conventional means for banking route, the cost is $44, and for the bitcoins, sorry, for the cryptocurrencies, it is 0.01. For normal banking route, like if we are sending money in dollar from India to US, the international transaction cost is going to be $44 per transaction. In the case of the stable coins, it is going to be $0.01. The application of dollar will reduce. That is one thing which may happen. Okay. So that will be all for today. Thank you so much. Take care and all the best.